So, last night, the Supreme Court made a decision that lifted a temporary restraining order against the Trump administration that allows them to resume deportation flights of sending people to foreign prisons. The president is using a law from the 1700s, the Alien Enemies Act, to deport these folks. By the way, this law has only been invoked, 3 times during the War of 1812, during World War I, as well as World War II. And I suggest you go back and look at the history about how that was used. I, of course, take to social media and take a look at what the administration is saying. And straight from the big guy himself, the President of the United States, the Supreme Court has upheld the rule of law in our nation by allowing a president, whoever that may be, to be able to secure our borders and protect our families for our country itself. And a great day for American justice. You have to look at the laws and rulings objectively. So, of course, I'm not a lawyer. I'm not a constitutional scholar. I'm not a Supreme Court whisperer. So what I did is I went to used my resources. I went to this website called Scotus blog. Scotus blog I think this is a great tool. If you have never been on it, go to it and check it out. The first story on the homepage of Scotus blog is the Supreme Court requires non-citizens to challenge their detention and removal in Texas. That doesn't sound exactly to me like what the administration is putting out on social media. So I went into it, and you can see they explain by a vote of 5-4, the justices declined to address the challengers' contention that they are not covered by the 18th century law on which Trump relied on issuing the order. What that says is the Supreme Court did not decide anything to do with what President Trump has said, that the president, whoever they may be, to be able to secure our borders and protect our families. And what he means by that is, again, as you go a little further into it, the Attorney General Pamela Bondi says that tonight's landmark Supreme Court ruling, the American people can rest assured that we will direct our assets to scour the country for any remnants of Tren de Aragua and deport them. Again, you see Kristi Noem was proven right once again that SCOTUS confirms the Commander-in-Chief, Donald J. Trump, has the power to stop the invasion of our country by terrorists and using wartime powers. Alien Enemies Act now in full effect. The foreign terrorists will be arrested and expelled. Regardless of what I feel about the tone and position of the White House administration at this time, they have the objective right to do their job under the law as they see fit. That's not what this case was about. This case was about whether or not people who are being accused of something have the ability to prove that they are or aren't subject to the law enforcement actions that are taking place. And that's exactly actually what this Supreme Court ruling says. Instead, the challengers' lawsuit must be brought in Texas, where they are being held, rather than in Washington, D.C., the court explained. So basically, what this Supreme Court ruling has said yesterday is that the challengers brought their case to the wrong court, that they should have gone to a court in Texas where these federal detainees were being housed, instead of taking it to a court in Washington, D.C. They actually also said, those detainees emphasized that while the courts have a limited role in reviewing claims under the law that was used, it says the plaintiffs and others detained under the law are entitled to notice and opportunity to challenge their removal. So basically what the Supreme Court says is that actually they slapped down the Trump administration unanimously, that the Trump administration was wrong for deporting those people to the prison in El Salvador by using the process that they used. They are saying that those people should have been able to plead their case in the court before they were deported. However, those people who are incarcerated just went to the wrong court to stand up for themselves. So while the Supreme Court threw out the restraining order because basically they said it was done in the wrong jurisdiction, they actually provided strong reprieve for those people who are incarcerated to say, hey, you should or can stand up for the rights that you do have under the law, but you just have to do it in the proper jurisdiction. So what the administration, again, they are saying about what the Supreme Court's interpretation was is not accurate. The Supreme Court did not say that a district court judge can't stop the president from doing illegal things. They actually adjudicated that very clearly. They're all there saying that adjudication has to start in the right setting. So there are many more cases that are working their way through the system and that will ultimately have to make it to the Supreme Court. So we'll be keeping an eye on that. But again, just remember, it's really important to try to sift through the noise and the politics of what people want decisions to be versus what they actually are. Now that you have the information, do what you will with it. The rest is up to you and me.